Genocide. It's a word which should be said slowly, to give the mind a chance to catch up and understand the enormity of this concept. And even then, can we actually contemplate what it means to deliberately set out to destroy another people, not because of anything that they have done, but simply because of who they are? The concept is so large and so hard to understand that for many years it went without a name. Churchill spoke of it as a crime without a name. Now we have a name, genocide. But does this actually make this concept or this reality any easier to bear? But perhaps the contemplation of genocide should overwhelm us, as we should be overwhelmed by any contemplation of evil and hate. One cannot visit the Holocaust Memorial at Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, or the Genocide Memorial at Swallows Fortress in Yerevan, without being overwhelmed at the sad and senseless loss of life, at the evil which drove this, and at the indifference of others which looked the other way or allowed it to occur. A common human response when encountering such evil is to try not to dwell on the horror of genocide, but not thinking about these issues has a tremendous price: repetition. The Armenian genocide is acknowledged as the first genocide of the 20th century, hardly a milestone to be remembered. And indeed, for decades, it was brushed aside and ignored. It took 50 years for the Swallows Fortress Memorial in Armenia to be erected. There was a great humanitarian response to this genocide from Australia, but little international recognition of what had happened, except, of course, in some quarters where it was used as a playbook. Speaking to his generals in 1939, Hitler is reported as saying, "Genghis Khan led millions of women and children to slaughter with premeditation and a happy heart. History sees in him solely the founder of a state. Our war aim does not consist in reaching certain lines, but in the physical destruction of men, women and children of Polish derivation and language." And then he finished, "Who, after all, speaks today of the annihilation of the Armenians?" We need to speak of this annihilation, because if we do not name evil, acknowledge that evil has occurred, and teach our children to eschew evil, history teaches us we will repeat it. After the Holocaust, the world said, "Never again," yet we see anti-Semitic speech on our own streets. After Swallows Fortress was erected, the Armenians hoped, "Never again." But as journalist Lindsay Snell has exposed, at schools and universities in Azerbaijan, the young are being taught to hate Armenians.
The member's time has expired.